A very pleasant evening to everyone gathered here. I'm indeed excited and happy to welcome you all for the day 4 of this 5-day international online faculty development program on soft skills for capacity building. This is organized by St. Joseph's Academy of Soft Skills, St. Joseph's College, Trichy. Let us begin this beautiful evening with blessings of the Lord Almighty with this short but powerful prayer. Eternal, ever living God, we thank you for this wonderful evening. We have happily learned lots of valuable inputs during the past 3 days and hope the same on this evening as well. Bless our resource person of this evening and the participants as well, as all our words and deeds go towards the benefit of this society. Thank you. Before we chip into the day 4, let me give a short recap of the yesterday's happening. The day 3 was focusing on self-awareness is the bottom line by Dr. John Peter, Director, Bharatidasan Institute of Management, Tiruchirappalli. Sir began with unexamined life not worth living, a standard quotation which worth a lot. He also touched upon the myth and truth of self-concept, consistency about the leadership, pointing out Periyar, a prominent leader of Tamil Nadu, and also Tata. He also pointed out a few negative aspects of few successful leaders such as Steve Jobs. He finished with questioning in such a way why and what. His session was ended with interaction and takeaways shared by the participants. Now, we will move on to the today's session. Today's session is entitled Ascending the Power of Focus Towards Facing On Exciting Yet Combative Digital Future, for which we have Mr. Andrew Brian De Silva, personal transformational coach from Malaysia. Now, I invite Dr. A. Vimal Gerald, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, St. Joseph's College, Trichy, to introduce our honorable resource person of this evening. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Professor Dennis. Thank you, Professor Dennis. A very happy evening to all the dignitaries and the participants. We have been enjoying the sessions for the past 3 days. We are going to have yet another interesting session by Mr. Andrew Bryan, personal transformational coach, Malaysia. I'm very happy and proud to introduce him to you all. Mr. Andrew has 20 years of rich experience in various multinational companies. He has held numerous positions, mainly at regional level in sales, marketing, business development, and consultative capacities, and so on. He has obtained his diploma in economics from the London School of Economics in 1992. He graduated himself with BSc Economics Honours from University of London in 1995. He has completed his certificate course in marketing communication from Malaysian Institute of Management in the year 2002. He has also acquired his master's in business administration in Charles Sturt University in 2003. He is currently pursuing his PhD in human resource development. He has served as the Vice President of Education, Toastmaster International, as Advanced Communicator Silver and Competent Communicator. He is also a member of Mind Science Association of Malaysia. He is also a project manager for Content Delivery Network for Asian Telcos. He is also a consultant trainer for Banyan Hope Private Limited. He has been a custodian of corporate identity standard and brand for Acacia Communications Private Limited and consultant trainer for several sectarian groups. He has also served as a senior lecturer at Sunway University, Malaysia, also a regional manager, business development and sales, Acacia Communication Private Limited. He has been also an operational analyst in American Express Private Limited. He has been also a business consultant in MMS Consultancy, Singapore. On the human development front, Mr. Andrew has conducted several clinics and seminars for a wide range of organizations and individuals alike. His seminars on maximizing your true potential, harnessing the power of your mind, building the you, vision beyond sight, optimizing the leadership, strategic management and decision making for today's business environment, effective public speaking and presentation, and corporate and business communication. So, my dear friends, let us listen to Mr. Andrew on harnessing the power of focus towards facing an exciting yet combative digital future. His profile goes on. Let me not take his time. With this short word of introduction, I invite Mr. Andrew Bryan to take over the session. Welcome you, sir.
Once again, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank the faculty and the organizing committee for this opportunity of addressing all of you. Most importantly of all, I'd like to thank the Lord Jesus for making this possible. And it's an honor and privilege. It's really an honor and privilege to speak to St. Joseph's University, particularly with such rich background, rich history that you all have in regards to producing great minds like the legendary APJ Abdul Kalam. So I'm very, very privileged to speak to each and every one of you. This is more of an honor for me than for you to listen to me speaking. I'd like to thank Dr. John and all the organizing committee for this opportunity. Now, my session for today is about improving focus or focusing. I just like to paraphrase the title. I realize the title is a bit too long, but let's just keep it short and sweet. After all, when you talk about the concept of focus, we have to keep our hearts, our eyes, and our mind on very specific details, isn't it? So in today's session, if I may share the slides right now. So the objective of the session today is to share with you some of the importance of focus. Why is having focus critical? And I'd also like to share some tools in which I have used, and I feel and I believe strongly that it would be applicable for you. At the end of this session, I'd like and I hope that all of you would be able to really, really apply these techniques, these tools, and you can start seeing some improvements in the way in which you conduct your daily activities as an individual, as a spouse, as a student, as faculty members, and so on. Another thing that you all may not have known about me is that I am visually impaired. Now, this is quite exciting for me to inform all of you. I'm visually impaired, but I was not born blind. This happened many, many years ago. I'm in about 27 years ago. I discovered I had this condition called macular degeneration. And what happens is that the retina of a person's eye is damaged. The blood cells begin to degenerate and it stops feeding oxygen or blood circulation into a person's focus. So my figures are normally distorted. Now, this can be a bit of a shocker to all of you, but this is the game. Let me tell you what happened, why focus is important, and if you have any form of impediment or any form of discomfort or lack of confidence in doing whatever you are doing, it is nothing. Because there is a method and a technique to redirect, harness your focus, not on what you don't have or what you lack or what is a showstopper for your future achievement, but what you want to achieve. Okay, now, those are the aspects on which I like to cover. So the story is like this. Many years ago, when I was about 23, 24 years old, while doing my second year degree, University of London economics program, I discovered that while trying to read my text and so on, I cannot see certain words. It distorts and all those things. So I was under the impression the lighting was not impression, maybe the print was all smudgy and so on. And in one day, what happened was I went to play badminton. I was playing badminton and I lost to this friend of mine who had a knee problem. Okay, when you play badminton, you do not lose to a person who has got a knee problem. That doesn't make sense, right? So each time there was a drop shot, he picks up, and when he returns the shuttle, I lose I can't see the shuttlecock. I can't see where the shuttle is going. And when I can't see, therefore, I can't hit, which means I lost. When you are in your 20s, losing matches, losing spots is not something you take lightly. So there was a major bruise to the ego, a major dissatisfaction. So I was so disappointed. Immediately the next day, I decided, no, I'm going to get this checked out. Took a friend of mine and we went to the high hospital in Kuala Lumpur. It is called the Tun Husainon Eye Specialist Center. So I met this doctor. He did some test, put me on the scan, and he told me I had a condition. No, initially he didn't tell me I had a condition of anything. What he did was he made this funny sound. Have you heard of this lizard sound that goes? Have you heard of that sometimes? Now, he did the lizard sound thing to me. So I thought I was going to die, right? Have you ever expected someone to just look at you, look at your x-ray and say, or look at your eye and say, so it gives you the feeling that, oh my God, what's going on? Am I going to die? What's wrong with this doctor? And he said, you have this particular condition, macular degeneration. So my immediate response was, what can I do to fix it? And he said, nothing. I asked him, surgery? He said, no. So what can happen? You can become blind. 23 years old boy who played hockey for school, played football for his college, started to read and write at the age of 2 or 3, and suddenly you tell him he's going to become blind. Imagine the emotional chaos. Imagine the emotional euphoria, if I may use that word, euphoria. So I was rattled, I was shaken, I did not know what to do. So it rocked me to my core. And furthermore, I was only in the second year degree. I've got a couple of more years to go. So what happened was, went back home that day, I tried to cry, but that didn't quite work out because I don't know why, but my body just didn't respond to the news. For me, it was a dramatic news. It was a horrifying news. So I didn't know how to react. But lo and behold, this is the story. Few years before that, when I was about 19, I was introduced to this program called Mind Science. When I was 19, I was still in school. I was not doing my degree yet. I was virtually dragged for this particular program. It taught me about meditating and visualization and affirmations and all these things. So I was, and in that group, there was about 50 of us in the classroom. And 46 of those people were individuals who are someone's grandparents, someone's uncle or auntie. And there was only 3 of us in that group, which was in their teens. And all 3 of us were dragged for the program, right? So all the uncles and aunties had all the aches and pains and diabetes and hypertension and all those problems. And 3 of us, strapping young guys, and there's one girl there, we felt out of place. So because I was dragged to attend the program, someone paid for me to attend this program, I just followed. It was a 2-weekend seminar, Saturday, Sunday, and then on a subsequent 3rd weekend, we had to show some results, all right? Now, part of the program involved some form of visualization, some form of affirmations, incantations, doing certain things in a certain way and all those things. It was all Greek to me. Actually, it's not only Greek, it was Greek and Latin put together. To some extent, it also felt like Creole to me. But what I did was I followed the entire process, and things started to happen at that point of time. Things started to change. So at that point of time, remember, at 19, I was not diagnosed yet. I did not have any eye problem, nothing. They asked me to do certain things, and I did all the visualizations and meditations and affirmations, and I saw phenomenal results. Looking at the big picture and all those things. And fast forwarding back to that situation where I had my eye problem, I decided, yes, I have this problem right now. And what can I do to change my situation? What can I do to transform? What can I do to refocus, recalibrate, realign my thought process, change my biochemical composition? Because in my experience is this, I cannot let my visual impediment or whatever impediment that anyone may have, if you may have any of this, anything which is stopping you from realizing your true potential, from preventing you from living. So did some of those actions, and a lot of those things worked, miracles happened, but it is not something which is intangible. It is not something which is just a magic. Whatever that was practiced, whatever that I've learned, whatever I'm going around talking about and sharing is actually grounded in the tenets of science, grounded in the tenets of management, grounded in the tenets of business. So as long as our eyes is on the prize, meaning as long as we are focused on very, very specific goals, those goals I'll be sharing, those ways in which achieving specific goals or aiming at specific goals, I'll share with you as we progress in this lecture, in this series, are necessary for us in order to build the result that we want. Remember, to build the result that we want, not build the result that the government wants, or build the result that our parents want, or build the result that society wants. What is it that we want for ourselves? It's not just in regards to business or career or sports and all. It's also in regards to relationships and so on. In some cases, when we talk about relationships and this sort of areas, people are very sensitive and we are very cautious. But most of the time, let me just share this with you. Most of the time, you attract the person that you want. You attract the person that you want, whether you do it on a conscious, alert, or what your previous resource people have spoken, on a more aware basis, or you do it in a subconscious level. They came to you because that was the standards you had. But for those who are married, I'm sure it's too late to change. I'm just kidding. This is a joke, and I cannot hear anyone's response, but that's my experience, right? So this is how you look at this area of focus. You have to be very determined and very precise in your directions. Now, next slide is and the next slide is give me a moment, please. Okay, can all of you see this slide right now? I'm hoping all of you can.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, thank you. So now, this slide is about intention, attention, and action. Now, intention meaning what is it that you really want? Okay, so this is a critical part. Most of us are not very clear on what is it that we really want, intention. And then attention refers to the situation in which you channel enough essence, or you put enough work into that thought process. That means your attention must be clearly placed into your intention. And finally, like I said, this is not magic. You just don't meditate under a bow tree and magic happens to you. You have to take action. Notice the Nike logo there. You've got to do something about this. Do something about this, which means take very focused, very precise, very relevant actions. I repeat, very relevant action. So when you have this in mind, when you have all these three components in mind, you are in the verge, or you are the verge of making things happen for you. So becoming very clear in these three aspects is important. And from this, you can build your own magic outcome. Now, the outcome is magic because you never thought it was possible. How does a blind person read a book? Can a blind person read if he doesn't know Braille? If someone who's not born blind, who's not trained how to use Braille, how does he function? We have technology these days, voice over characteristics or voice over features on our devices, whether it's on your MacBook Pro, whether it's on your iPhone devices, voice over features. And then how does a blind person read a physical book? You can't read. How do you read a physical book? Once again, artificial intelligence. In your mobile devices, I'm not sure about Android phones, but in an iOS platform, you've got the Seeing AI application. It scans and reads things for you. So does it stop me from speaking and sharing and communicating with people around me? No. So what stops me from speaking and sharing and communicating? My deliberate intention not to. But in this case, I choose I want to. I want to be more than what my current conditions may be. So this is a process of growing, and this is a process of continuously progressing, and this is a process of being very, very productive, regardless of your circumstances, regardless of the conditions of the environment, regardless of any pandemic. So we can survive no matter what. We can survive no matter what. So let's focus on intention. Now, in regards to intention, so intention is your need, if I may just paraphrase, your need to be very, very focused, to be very, very decisive and precise as to what your intentions are. Very, very precise to what your intentions are. So when you know, for example, we always say things like, I want to be rich, I want to have certain things I want. So there is an absence of strong intention. There's an absence of something tangible. There's absence of clarity. So when there's an absence of clarity, it's very, very difficult for you to focus. It's very, very difficult for you to determine or strategize or compartmentalize specifically what's the game plan. If let's say you have a training company and then you have excellent product, excellent modules, you've got good gamification tools and techniques, but the product is good. And of course, most of the service providers are excellent. But why are they not getting the customer base that they want? What is the minor area which is missing? Perhaps the intention should be, I am focused, the ultimate focus is I'm speaking to, say, the top 10 Fortune 500 companies. I'm speaking to the big boys at Berkshire Hathaway, for example. I'm just being a bit outlandish here so that you get a picture. Because you really, really have to raise, all this involves standards. All this involves the quality of the stuff that you are doing and the target audience that you want. I'm speaking to the big boys at Tata Communications. I'm addressing the big, human resource people at, say, Microsoft. Or if I may take you to the east a little bit more, I'm talking to people at Alibaba. Okay, regardless whether they speak English or not, we can change that also later. But this is the target. This is the intention. So part of the strategy, part of the focus is identifying exactly who are your target audience. If I'm looking at the example of a training company having specific intentions. And when you have identified this very crystal clear intention, you must be in a position whereby you see yourself conducting lectures, conducting seminars, conducting workshops, conducting clinics, whether it's a team building sessions with people of these organizations. So that is an intention that you must build in the deeper recess of your mind. So that is a part of your mental programming. You are speaking to these people. And part of that intention should be how you visualize them in your mindset. That will be a section in later parts of the slide, later part of this workshop, but I will just give you the brief right now. So once you got that sorted out, to the extent that you can see that company logo of your clients in your proposal, that company logo of your clients in the banners that you have set up while doing presentations, while doing seminars, workshops, and so on. You also see the clients clapping, cheering. They are doing workshops. They are running around feeling fulfilled because you are giving them meaningful output. They are learning, they are applying, they are practicing, and they are moving forward. Intention, intention, intention. So that is very crystal clear. And that intention has to be penned down. You should have this in pen and paper, right? After intention, we go into the process of attention. Attention is where you start putting the emotional signs, your essence into it. A lot of people can do, there are so many different techniques and tactics in which you can use in order to realize or energize the intentions that you may have. The attention would be that process of channeling your strategies, your essence, your inner representations to what you want to receive. Your inner representations towards your intentions. That can be done either in a process of meditation, visualization, incantations, and so on. So all those are necessary because the more you keep pushing towards those goals and ideals from a mental state, from a focus state. Remember, the focus must be crystal clear. The focus must be crystal clear. And when you have that, all your attention, all your physical work that you do, your activities must be channeled towards your intention. So intention first, crystal clear intentions, unblemished, untainted, be very, very specific and clear. Once you've got that attention, channel all your mental strength, all your focus, all your meditation towards that areas of intention you want to achieve. And then you go to the area of action. Now, action is where the game begins. Action meaning this is where you do your Nike, just do it. So what kind of actions can you take? What kind of preparation must you make? Who must you consult? What kind of background check must you do? What kind of activities and so on? This is where all these activity, all the entire process comes into realization, comes into fruition. But let me just share with you this one particular area. Despite all this hullabaloo, despite all these strategies and so on, there would be possibilities that you would face obstacles and hindrances and showstoppers. That is inevitable. But by at this level, you would already harness the ability to look beyond weaknesses and strategies and limitations that you had to overcome this and get the outcome that you'd like to produce, that you'd like to realize, that you'd like to see happen. Okay? So that's where you have to take action. What action? I will tell you as we progress. Let me go to the next slide. Now this is, I'm calling this section the juice up section, right? This juice up section is basically a process of conditioning your thought process into very specific targets and intentions that you may have for your business or for your personal life. First things first, we have this term called advancing your very specific purpose. Generally, the word, by the way, don't use the word generally. Be very specific on what is the just cause that you have. Meaning, if you want to be or you want to own a specific product or service, or you want to have specific amounts of money, you have to have crystal clear intention, crystal clear uh, visuals or imaginative icons in your head, in your mind, as to what it is. So your just cause is this product, this service, this qualification, this client would be able to gain from my product, so for my experiences and so on. Or this product would make me feel special. This product will allow me to do certain things in a certain way. I'm able to help someone achieve their dreams and their ambitions. So this is very, how shall I put this? Pure in nature. So you advance a just cause. Your just cause should not cause harm to people. It should not be done at the expense of someone losing their livelihood or losing their bearings. So what is your just pure cost that you like to have? So that is very important. So at this point of time, if you guys have a paper and pen right now, you may just want to find out what is it that you really, really want in very specific areas of your life, right? So just pen out one or two things. As you hear me speak, you may want to write this down and be a bit more specific. Your just cause. Take some, I give you about maybe 30 seconds. What is it specifically that you need at this point of time? And how would that make you feel from an emotional point of view? How would that make, what kind of value that adds to people around you when you have it? How can you have this and contribute to the betterment of your family, of your faculty, of society around you? What is your just cause? Each time, for example, each time you walk into a classroom, what is your just cause? Maybe I'm in the position to transform the hearts and minds of the students in front of me. I'll be able to possibly produce the next prime minister of the country. I may be able to produce the next scientist in the next big name, so-called, in the business field or in the scientific community in India, if not the whole world. So that is your just cause. So you are not walking in as a teacher or a lecturer or professor. You're walking in as a person who is able to transform the environment around you. And of course, transform for the better. Transform for the better, more progressive, more productive, more forward-looking. So advance your just cause. And another term, apart from that, another issue is in regards to modeling. Now, this is not like your conventional modeling like Aishwarya Rai and all those things. When I say modeling, focus on the person that already has the things that you want. For example, if you want a specific credential, a specific type of cars and all those things, see those people, model yourself in terms of your thought process as to driving a specific car, speaking in a way a particular speaker speaks. If you are fans of, say, I don't know, Obama, right? See yourself speaking like Obama. See yourself addressing a crowd in his style, his confidence, the way he breathes, the way in which he slows his pitch, the way he says things. Like, it's not just the blue America or the red America, it's about the United States of America. So those things become part of your modeling process. So when you channel that kind of direction to your mind, now that's a modeling process. So you are able to mirror yourself from someone who has already achieved what you are in the midst or in the process of trying to achieve. Because it is possible. It is possible. And the third thing would be you building a trusting team, or you get help. Get help meaning try to get someone who is a consultant or someone who can share your ideas and dreams and give you directions or coach you or help you achieving your goals. In Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, that's a legendary book. It was printed, it first was published way back in the 30s or 40s, something around those times. And it has gone through many publications, many reprints, right? He talks about mastermind. Get yourself into a group, people who would support you, whether it's a family member, whether it's classmates or fellow professors in the college, to support your ideals. So they would back you up each time you fall. They would be there to pick you up. They would nudge you. They would support you. So because this is ultimately a war between nature and nurture. Sometimes you would be affected by so many different external environments. These factors are beyond your control. But if you have sufficient nurture, sufficient support from very trusting team members, they can help you. They can help you. Each time you fall down, you dust yourself, you wake up. If you land on your back, if you can look up, you can move forward. You can wake up. So this is why teams are important. So get yourself a team. In some cases, you may think, oh, do I have to pay for the team? Do I have to do something extra? No. Look at people around you. There are definitely friends, there are definitely colleagues, there are definitely family members who can support and build you up, no matter what. So this is why focus is very, very important, right? After this area of getting help, you must break down conventions that you're used to. Simon Sinek uses the term flexibility for, what do you call this? Existential flexibility. That means you must be able to break down your comfort zone. You must be able to take on things that you would feel impossible. That is critical. You have to come out from things that you're comfortable. Assuming in the context of a sports person, let's say all your life in a football context, all your life, you've been trained as a child, you've been trained how to play as a forward, a striker, right? But there could come a possibility whereby your coach says, hey, look here, Dazzle, I'm pushing you to the left wing. And Dazzle gets panicked, but I haven't played that position before. But with sufficient training, with sufficient conditioning, with sufficient coaching, Dazzle have to take on that role. Because there must be the flexibility to adapt to different circumstances, different situations, different possibilities. All of you have heard this before. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting better results. So when you are able to exercise existential flexibility, that means break down your existing comfort zones, you become more versatile, you become more agile, you become more, you'll be a high commodity person. High commodity person, very, very valuable. Oh, Dazzle, I don't have to he's not just a striker here. I can put him on the left wing. So he's very agile and flexible. So this gives me an opportunity to do so many other playing in so many different positions, and I can have so many different football formations and strategies to see to it that my team is strong, to see to it that my team gets the winning goal or gets the desired results, right? And finally, you have to be bold, take on real, difficult decisions. Take on real difficult decisions, challenge yourself to just go ahead and do it. Sometimes in terms of leadership, everyone is looking for a quick fix. In the case of employee engagement in businesses, in corporate offices, when some of our staff members are not performing, let's say the marketing department, you've got one or two people are not performing and so on, very rarely, there are efforts to find out what's going on, to support the person who's not performing. The quick fix would be, how can I transfer this fella out of the department? How can I get a new person in? Or in some extreme negative way, we use the term gaslighting. How to intimidate this fella and make him leave the place. Now that is a weak form of leadership, because you want to be in the context of business or teams, right? You want to be in a position that builds people up. You want to be in a position that helps people progress, helps people turn a better leaf. You don't want to knock people down when they are down. Your job as leaders, our job as leaders, is to engage in a transformatory mindset. Come on, Denzel, what's going on? What can we do about this? What's bugging you? Do you need help? So in this way, we are in a position to make drastic changes in the minds and hearts of people around us. So in our case as individuals, make a bold stand. It's not going to be comfortable. Being successful, being progressive, being forward-looking is not easy. If I may use a cricket example, the legendary little master, I think Sachin Tendulkar, he was not born an automatic world-class cricket player. Months and months of training, coaching, years and years of practice. And I'm not just talking about physical practice, I'm also talking about spiritual practice, emotional practice. That's what made him who he is. Same with all your other legendary cricketers, your Tony and Virat Kohli, legendary players. Hard work. It's nice to see them all flashy and all beating all the Westerners these days, but all of those are grounded in sheer determination, hard work, commitment. If they can do it in the cricket field, all of you can do it in your respective areas, in your respective fields. Whether it's the academic side, if you are running a business, your business side, or maybe you guys are in also some sport activities, you can do this too. I'm not sure whether you know the next example. Have you heard of this guy called Michael Jackson before? Of course you all have, right? Michael Jackson, who doesn't know Michael Jackson? In his interviews, when he transformed from black to white, I never quite understood what happened there. But anyway, when he made that transformation, most of his interviews, he says things like, he didn't have a childhood, his father beat him, and he was robbed of his he used to cry and all those things. You can feel the pain. Yes, he's gone through a bad time, didn't have a childhood and he couldn't play with all the, but there is a little issue for me here. If his father did not go through those discipline activities, if they didn't do enough coaching, Michael Jackson would not be a part of my example talking to all of you here today. He would not have those multi-billion-dollar success. He would not have those albums, those amazing concerts. Those things would not have been made possible, right? Why? Because of the training, grooming. There was leadership from the part of his father, right? From a very young age, from a kid as old as 5 years old, he started singing and performing. So the modeling was intense. Who did Michael Jackson model? Any idea? James Brown, the style. A regular 9-year-old kid without modeling, without having a just cause, without having the ability to break down the norms of his environment, and without having the leadership from his father, would not be the brand that he was. And at this point of time, he's still a brand. The brand still lives on. So that is a measurement of how powerful intense focus is. How clear you must be in your focus, right? All these people are not aliens. If they can do it, so can you. This is a possibility. This is a possibility, and it can become your reality. And whether you're going to be the next amazing batsman India is going to produce, or whether you're going to be the next top footballer, the same thing. And even if you look at people like David Beckham and Lionel Messi, have you seen the way in which they take their free kicks and penalties? David Beckham, in his beginning of his career, when he's a scrawny little kid, he practices 500 free kicks every day after training with the Man United team during his youth. 500 kicks every day. So discipline, focus. He was very determined to be the best in his game. That is sports. Lionel Messi, same thing. He's one of the shortest footballer in the planet. There's no uh, bells and whistles about Lionel Messi's performance. He doesn't have that funky Cristiano Ronaldo hairstyle, or he doesn't have those flashy things. You don't see all of those luxury stuff in him. But when he plays, his intense focus, a small man like that, he gets elbowed. He plays sometimes with a bleeding nose, with a bloody lip, and he continues playing, continues scoring, because his focus is crystal clear. He is not allowing anything else to stop him, because according in his mindset, in the world that he lives in his head, no matter what happens, his inner representation is, I'm going to be the best. Focus. Focus. These are normal people. They have same physical attributes like you and I. Some of us are bigger, taller, much, much better looking than David Beckham and all those things. Some of us have better family support and so on than these people. If they can do it, nothing should stop you and I from doing the same thing. All right? That is how powerful our mind and our thought process is. Now, let's go to the next slide here. Now, I would like you, I'm going to share this particular video right now. And before I play this video, I'd like all of you to just do a little bit of exercise with me, right? Sit up straight, everyone. Please sit up straight. Sit up straight. Just shake your neck a little bit to the right, to the left. All right. Take a few deep breaths. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay. Inhale, hold it for 1 second. Let go. Inhale. Let go. Okay. And each inhale, keep doing it for about 3 times. At each inhale, keep saying to yourself, I am getting better and better. Just keep saying that I'm getting better and better at this. I can do it. Just say a few positive things to yourself. We will come to all this a bit later in detail, but because you are in the process of becoming the better you. You are in the process of becoming a more dynamic speaker, a more dynamic professor, a more dynamic business owner, a more dynamic teacher, sports person, or maybe you are going to be the next Prime Minister of India. I don't know. There is a possibility, you know. There's a phrase in the Bible that says, I can do everything in Christ Jesus who strengthens me. So be governed by that. So I'm going to play this video. Please pay close attention. At the end of this session, there would be a Kahoot MCQ, and I would like for as many of you to participate in it. All right. So here goes. Please pay attention.
95% of our life is coming from the program.
Can all of you hear the video?
Life that we get in the first 7 years of
Yes, sir.
And that's
Thank you.
why poor people stay poor and rich people stay rich. The movie The Matrix is not science fiction. It's a documentary. Every human first 7 years is hypnosis. The brain of a child under 7 is in a lower vibrational frequency. When you put wires on a person's head, you read electroencephalograph, reading brain activity. A child below 7 has a lower vibration than consciousness. It's called theta. Theta is imagination. That's how kids play tea party with mud pies, but to them, it's a real thing. A kid rides a broom, it's a horse. That's theta, imagination. Theta is also hypnosis. And the idea is this: before you can become conscious, if you don't have any programs, what are you going to be conscious of? So nature makes the first 7 years. What kind of programs are required to live on this planet? I say, how do you get them? Theta is hypnosis. You just watch. You watch your parents, you watch your siblings and your community, because you have to learn how many 100,000 rules. Think about it. Just to be a functional member of a family and a functional member of a community, there are rules. Teach an infant these rules. You don't have to. First 7 years, I just observe it and just download it. And then I say, why is it relevant? Because this is the unfortunate fact. 95% of our life comes from those programs in the subconscious. Every day, only about 5% of the life are you using conscious, which is creative. 5%. And you don't see it because it's called subconscious, below conscious. And the Jesuits for 400 years, they were boasting. People didn't understand. They say, give me a child until it's 7 and I will show you the man. They've been saying that for 400 years because they knew 7 years was the program period. And 95% of your life after that will be whatever that program is. A child isn't functioning in consciousness until after 7. before 7 is direct record. Whatever you just said, I just recorded it. So if the parent gets mad at the child and says, you don't deserve that, you don't deserve this, go. The child is not consciously understanding what you mean. Child's just recorded, I do not deserve. Now, if I hear that several times, especially in an emotional situation, because that downloads it faster, now I'm 40, 50 years old. What is my behavior 95% of the time? And the answer is what comes from the program. I do not deserve. Well, that means unconsciously, I will sabotage myself to make sure that the program is correct. I'm making the program true by adjusting the behavior to meet the program. Look, this is not new. I mean, there's the famous book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And basically said you come from a poor family and you could struggle your whole life and try to get rich, but you're not going to make it. And if you come from a rich family, you could be stupid your whole life and make it. Not because it was thinking, but it was unconscious behavior that was downloaded from rich families into kids, which is unconscious. So they're making the right moves unconsciously. If they engage their conscious mind, then they look stupid, but it's unconscious. And that's the same thing with poor people. Poor people have beliefs from the family. Oh, you can't make it. Life's a struggle. Things are hard. Who do you think you are? And if that's the program you get, then 95% of the day, you will sabotage yourself. And that's why poor people stay poor and rich people stay rich, because of the programming. Before I put this knowledge into effect, and I use the word put into effect, why? I had the knowledge academically. It's like, oh my God, look at the research. What does it mean? I understood it from the level. And with all that knowledge, it didn't change my life. People read self-help books. I go, well, you read the book. You got a lot of knowledge. Is your life changed? No, but you got a lot of knowledge. And so here's the difference. The conscious mind is creative and can learn in any number of ways. Read a self-help book, go to a lecture, listen to this, and conscious mind is going to get some awareness. But subconscious mind doesn't learn that way. Subconscious mind learns in two fundamental ways naturally. Hypnosis, which is the first 7 years. And after age 7, how do you put new programs in? Repetition, practice. You want to drive a car? You didn't learn how by just getting in the seat and put the key in. You had to practice driving the car. You want to learn the alphabet. How many times did you go from A to Z? Try to go to A to Z before you can complete it. And once you completed it, you didn't have to go back and do it again. So 2 phases. You want to train the subconscious mind, hypnosis, repetition. I like the last one because there's a new phrase that's bandied about called fake it till you make it. Meaning if you're not a happy person, I say you want to be a happy person, then repeat all the time. I'm happy. I'm happy. Well, you don't look happy or anything. No, who am I talking to? By repetition, I'm talking to subconscious. If subconscious gets, I am happy, and 95% of your life comes from that subconscious, there will be a point once the subconscious got, I am happy, you don't have to say it again. It'll be automatic. It's repetitive, and that's the secret part. Putting a sticky note on the refrigerator is more like a suggestion, but it's not a repetition. So it doesn't work very well. Repetition is a habit. It's making habit. So you got to do something religiously in the sense of repeating it to make it work. Every night when you go to bed, just when you're falling off into sleep, consciousness is disconnecting. The next period of your brain operation while your consciousness is disconnected is theta, which is the same brain function as in the first 7 years. So if you put a pair of earphones on at night with a program of what you would like to be true in your life, as soon as your conscious mind disconnects, that program is playing. It's not playing into your conscious mind. That's shut off. It's now going straight into the subconscious mind. So it's called auto hypnosis. You don't need to go see a hypnotherapist. You just have to pick out what program would you like to have that you don't have. 95% of your life is coming from the subconscious. Your life is a printout of your subconscious behavior. So you don't have to try and think about what happened. I just say, look at your life. The things you like that come into your life come in because you have a program that supports them. But anything you struggle with, work hard at, put a lot of effort into making it happen. Why are you working so hard? Inevitably, you have a program that doesn't support that conclusion and you're trying to override the program. So you don't need to do a lot of strength and psychology stuff. You just look at your life and say, where am I struggling? Because wherever you're struggling, inevitably is a program in your subconscious that does not support that destination you've been looking for.
All right. Now, this particular slide, this video is actually by Dr. Bruce Lipton. He is a renowned genetic engineer, scientist. He lectures to doctors and so on. He has developed this concept called epigenetics. That's his field of study. So to just give you a short summary of this video, it is about his discovery of what happens in terms of a person's thought process and how a child is programmed or conditioned from the ages of 0 to 7. That's where you develop all your prejudices, all your uh, behaviors. You either inherit that from your parents or from people around you. So at the very tender age of 0 to 7, you question nothing, you absorb everything. And subsequently, as we progress in life, that process of hypnosis from 0 to 7 doesn't take place anymore. Whatever you subsequently do after the ages of 7, it is derived from repetition. So in principle, what Dr. Bruce Lipton is sharing right now in this particular video, and also his book is called The Biology of Belief, is that you are in the position from a scientific point of view, not in just a positive thinking, physical imaginative aspect, but from a scientific point of view, you are in the process, or you have the ability with relevant focus to be the best self you can be. No matter what your underlying conditions are, no matter what your genetic makeup may be, that is irrelevant. That is irrelevant, right? It's all about desire, desire, desire. And if I may also talk about this acronym that is something I always share in my sessions. The acronym is called AIDA, A-I-D-A. So A is a reference made to awareness. Awareness, we must know exactly what we are doing. We must be really, really sure what's going on in terms of business, in terms of our personal targets that we have, right? So from the business or individual standpoint, when we have a certain level of awareness of or where we are currently and where do we intend to be in a certain period of time, that is a very powerful state to be. So develop a certain level of awareness, followed by intention, or rather interest. So when you have that interest, you would be in the position to try to get to know more. How can I actually do this? How can I actually move on to the next level? How can I actually transform from one state to another state? These concepts are very contemporary. It has been around for 30, 40, 50 years. Even that is considered contemporary, because one good example that I've noticed is in the life of Jesus Christ. He knew for a fact that he was in the process of going to be betrayed by Judas. He knew that at the Last Supper, and true enough, this is the period of Lent, right? So this part of the narrative as we go on in this whole weeks here. He knew he was in the process of going to be betrayed. He could have run away from this. He could have got the other disciples to beat up Judas or something. He did not, because he was very clear, he was very aware of who he was as a man, as a spiritual figure, as God, right? He was aware of that, and he did not affect him. And because of that, he had enormous power and strength to go through the heavy beating and heavy battery he have throughout his journey to Calvary. Not a fun journey. It's not fun to get scourged, to get crown of thorns smacked in your head, to be bloody and carry a cross and be crucified. It's not fun, but Jesus transcended. He had the awareness, he had the interest in what he was doing, and subsequently, he had all the desire. As individuals, going back to the contemporary aspect of things, as individuals, have very specific desires on what you're doing. When you have specific desires towards your levels of awareness, your intentions, desire is a very high form of interest. You would most certainly move on to the next level, which is action. Take on the next action. What can I do? So in the AIDA concept, we use the term awareness, interest, desire, and action. All these aspects would contribute towards your intention, attention, and of course, your action. Remember, there still has to be action. You still have to do something about this. All right? Now, let's move on to the next. Now, now this is, once again, I'm revisiting the slide on intention. So it kind of captures what we have done. So it's a slight revision here. So intention, be very, very clear as to what you want. All your focus, all your targets and all must be unblemished, must be untainted. So when you have this in mind, you would be a bit more focused in your activities and your strategizing and so on. Okay, and your intention must be crystal clear, because only through that you can be focused. And next one is channel all your attention, channel all your essence into your intention. This can be done through process of meditation, affirmations, and so on. And when that is channeled, when you put your entire psychology into this, when your entire essence and being, so whatever you read, whatever you focus, whatever you engage in, it would be in the process of being transformed into the intention that you have. And then finally, you look at taking the necessary action, taking the necessary action. Now, allow me to go through a little bit of exercise with all of you, right? This is what I've practiced. This is what I was taught when I was 19 years old. Remember the first time I said that I was put through an exercise? I'm going to go through that with you, and I'm going to see if it's going to, I'm going to share that with you. I would like for all of you to just follow as what I'm about to do. And you may have read about this, and you have seen many different books about all these areas of metaphysics and so on. But let's just do it anyway, right? Because keeping it as simple and as focused as possible would allow you to practice it more efficiently or effectively. So once again, sit up straight, everyone. Sit up straight, everyone. Now, gently shut your eyes. Gently shut your eyes. Take in a few deep breaths, and let me go through a process of doing a countdown from 15. I'm going to count down from 15 to 1. At each declining numbers, at each lower numbers, you are in a state of calmness and peacefulness. Just listen to me carefully as we go through this. Sit up straight. I'm going to count from 15 to 1. 15, 15, 15. Breathe in, breathe out. 14, 14, 14, 13, 13, 13, 12, 12, 12, 11, 11, 11. You are going deeper and deeper into a nice state of rest. You are becoming a little bit more calm. You are composed. You are relaxed. 10, 10, 10. You are relaxed. 9, 8, 7. You are calmer now. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are calm and relaxed, and you visualize a bright light covering you from the tip of your hair to the tip of your toes. A healing light that is energizing you from the top to the bottom of your body. It gushes up again from the tip of your toes. It goes up to the source above, and the fresh light comes down on you again, energizing you, strengthening you. You are calm. You are composed. You are relaxed. Right? And you are in the process of becoming your better self. Your focus has improved. You have got an inclination exactly what it is you want to achieve. Your concentration has improved. You are at the verge of becoming your better self. You are unstoppable, unshakable. and the whole world's your oyster. Now, snap your fingers and let's move on to the next slide. Right? So actions, once again, refers to the actions, the measures that you can take to do certain things in a certain way. Let's move on to the next slide. Right? Now, we are in the midst of going towards a worksheet. Now, that worksheet involves a little bit of so-called self-assessment, self-analysis as to what you can practice and what you can do. And before that, you should ask yourself a few of these questions as to what do you want? Are you taking the necessary actions? Yes, no. There's a lot of things that you may want to think about. And what are the showstoppers? What are the obstacles or hindrances? What is holding you back from achieving all those things? So spend some time right now to first identify. I just give you, say, about 3 minutes. All of you can participate in this, okay? 3 minutes, find out exactly what is it that you really want. Let me just help you a little bit. You may want to compartmentalize the categories. For example, maybe there's something in your health that you want, whether it's a six-pack, you want to lose weight and, or something to that effect. Or maybe there's something in regards to the business that you're running. You want to make, or you want to be a bit more successful than you are right now. Just have a thought, have an idea, write down in a piece of paper. Oh, why am I saying paper? We are in the technology age. Flip your, crank up your mobile devices and go to your notes and just type out things that you want. What is it you really want for your business, for your health? Maybe you're on the verge of trying to get married or looking for your ideal partner or something. What kind of partner are you looking for? Don't just look at the physical attributes. And on the other side, don't just look for things like, I hope he has a nice heart. But you also want your partner to look fairly attractive, isn't it? Okay, so be very specific, because if you miss this, you would get exactly what you want. I hope he has got a nice heart, he's kind, he's everything. Unfortunately, he's broke. So that is also a showstopper. So you want to avoid that thing also. So be very specific, very, very decisive. Okay, if it may help you, maybe I suggest things like you do what is called, like I mentioned earlier, modeling, right? So in the aspect of an example, you say, I want a person who looks like so and so, who's got values and characteristics of the Dalai Lama, who's very healthy and who's fairly wealthy, those kind of things. So have a composite of behavior, that physical and emotional, behavioral aspects of the person that you want to attract to your life. Be very specific. And I have to repeat this, please be very specific. And you make one mistake and you underestimate certain aspects, you may end up getting something which you did not bargain for 100%. But the issue is your focus was the cause of the issue, was the cause of the problem. So give yourself some time and write down one or two things. I give you about 30 seconds or maybe a minute. I'm going there. Okay, at this juncture, I'd like to call out volunteers. Is it possible for me to call out volunteers?
Yes.
Okay, let me see. What name do I see here?
Sorry, you may use the FDP numbers.
Okay, let me see, what name is that? Dr. T. Raja? Dr. T. Raja, can you hear me, sir? Hello. Okay, I can't hear Dr. T. Raja. Let me get another name. Dr. Sneha, can you hear me, doctor? Dr. Sneha, can you hear me? Okay, let me call out another person. Sandeep, can you hear me, Sandeep? Sandeep, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I am hearing. Hello. Hello.
Okay, there's so much of frequency sounds I'm hearing. Sorry, who is this, please?
I'm Sandeep Gade, sir.
Hi, sir. Now, would you like to share some of any specific things that you are looking for in whether in terms of your health or in terms of your business or in terms of your sports or relationships?
No, sir. No, sir. Not specific.
Anything in regards to your business or your career or something?
Sir, I want to complete my PhD next year.
Very good, very good. So that is your main focus right now, correct?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, lovely. Which Mr. Sandeep, just hang on there. Let me just introduce all of you to the worksheet, okay? All right, can all of you see this worksheet right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, this worksheet is called the contrast belief worksheet. It's called the contrast belief worksheet because when we say we want to achieve certain things and all, we have a lot of interruptions, a lot of negativities in our mind that says, no, it's not going to happen. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. There's so many things. You are not smart enough. You are not capable. You don't have the money. So that's a lot of things that is stopping you, right? So in this particular worksheet that all of you are seeing, for very specific things that you like to achieve, whether it's a car that you want, whether it's your PhD, write down all the contrasting things that you are feeling. Take some time to write down all the contrasting things that you're feeling. Okay, I'll give you some time to do this. For example, if let's say you say, I want to complete my PhD. So what are the contrasting things that is happening right now? It's difficult. I'm not good with the SPSS. My supervisors are changing my IV and my DV and my moderating variable. Okay, I've changed it so many times. So many different things are affecting you. This is just an example. So in terms, say, I would like to have this particular car, or, be specific, right? And then the contrasting aspect would be, I don't have the money. We don't have this model in India. I can't afford to maintain it. Just write down all those contrasting beliefs at one section of your worksheet. So each time you have very specific goals, very specific targets and focus, there is definitely obstacles that is also embedded into your psychology. That one you can't help because remember the Bruce Lipton video from the ages of 0 to 7, that's where all your blind conditioning took place. That's where you accepted and absorbed everything without enough cognitive judgment. You just accept. Condition. Children don't ask, we just follow. Don't go there or I'll punish you. Yeah, just don't. They just follow, right? So once you have written it in this particular flow of format, change. The next section would be from the contrast. The next column is, can all of you see this? The next column is convert the contrasting sentences to what you really want. Assuming my supervisor always rejects my thesis or my proposal, you say, my proposal is very good, it is accepted. Or you say, I don't have the finances to get this particular particular Ferrari Testarossa model. I don't have the finances. I want it, but the other side of the column can read, I am in the process of having the necessary financial, of being in the necessary financial state to own my Ferrari Testarossa. If you notice, I've given the car a brand, very specific brand. Of course, you must be specific with the types of color. You must be specific with the types of color. You must be specific with the type, the leather seat and so on. So you have a feel of those things, right? So throughout this worksheet, give yourself some time to have the contrast feelings, and directly beside the contrast feelings, write the positive statements. Be in the state, be in that level of focus where you have received all that you want. This is a process of getting rid of your contrast. And remember, this is not magic. There's still work to be done. But you would have the necessary direction. You would have the necessary intuition or gut feeling to move towards it. For all you know, it has been around you all this while. But because there was an absence of focus, sometimes it's difficult for us to achieve this. Okay. Are there any questions so far? Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir, we are getting you.
Oh, right. Thank you. Any questions? So after this two, you may want to consider doing this privately because I can't hear people's response, but let's move on to the other sheet here. You got two sheets. In the initial, it's a contrast belief worksheet. Once you've got this done, go to the other sheet, which talks about the action. Can you all see this? Can they all see this? Sir. Very good, thank you. So in this particular, someone was saying something. Can you, what was it? Okay, let me just move forward. Now, at this particular level, where this, the goals are concerned, right? Be very clear in regards to your goals. Indicate your goals, whatever your goals may be. Remember, whatever your goals may be. And identify the question to yourself. That means the self-examination or the self-focus would be, what action am I taking? What can I do? What am I doing right now? So when you do the self-examination, remember, this is action still must be taken. No amount of meditation is going to get $1 million to drop onto your lap immediately. There has to be action, right? So what actions are you going to take to get your PhD? How much of literature review am I going to do? Who am I going to talk to? Do I have a group of people to help me out, for example? And so on. Maybe it's different in the ways in different universities and different departments, but these are the things you can consider, right? If you're talking about owning a specific dream house or owning a specific, to be in a specific state of mind or state of health, or I'm overweight and so on. So the question would be, what is your ideal weight? You know, I'm healthy. I'm say 70 kilograms. In what action? I run around my housing area, 10 rounds around my housing area every day. I eat well. So there has to be some really, really tangible action. I repeat, there has to be some really tangible action. There has to be some really determined focus towards these things. Because nothing is impossible, you know. Whatever your goals are, nothing is impossible. No one would have thought a regular kid from Rameshwaram would one day be the president of India. Okay, the late APJ Abdul Kalam. No one would have thought that was possible, right? But it is possible. It is possible. So once you've got this, spend some time to write this down. Okay. So I'm giving a few more minutes for your introspection. Once we have done this, I'm going to go to the next slide. What is the next slide? Okay. Now, this is a slide on types of affirmations and incantations. The term affirmation is, I think all of you are familiar with, there's a lot of literature in the world these days on what is affirmation and positive sayings and positive thinkings. But what I'd like to draw your attention to is the concept of incantation. You don't just, it is pointless just to say every day in every way I'm getting better and better. You have to emotionalize it. You have to feel it at a physiological level, at a physical level. For example, right? You can say things like that. There are some examples given here right now in the slides, but you can develop your own positive sayings. Affirmations are basically positive sayings, but incorporate that with very, very strong emotions. For example, make it physical. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. Every day in every way. So, excuse me. So mention that over and over again, but this time feel it, emotionalize it, and say, I am a genius and I use my wisdom every moment. So you can change the tonality of your voice. You can change the way in which you feel. You can feel your muscles strengthening. You have to feel this. I am unshakable. I'm unstoppable. I am amazing. I'm in the process of becoming better and better every day in every week. Keep repeating this in a certain pattern. But this time around, when you talk about affirmations, select one or maybe select 2 or 3 of this, repeat them for 2-3 times on a regular basis in your private time when you're in whatever state of doing the job that you do or so on, and internalize it. So that would give you a better control or better feel of what you're doing. So like what Bruce Lipton was telling in the video just now, remember, it's from Bruce Lipton, scientist. He said, who are you talking to? Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Who are you talking to? You're not hallucinating. You're talking to your subconscious. You're talking to your inner self. So the more you talk to it, the program or the repetition, the more you start feeling that way. The more you start feeling that way. Because if I'm going to tell Sandeep, no problem. It's a matter of time before you are Dr. Sandeep. It's a matter of time before you have the name Sandeep and then you have the PhD in front of your in your initials. It is in the process of happening. You can do it because the entire environment, the faculty, your supervisor is supporting you no matter what. No one is going to let you fail because you deserve it. So you deserve it. I deserve my PhD. No matter what, I'm in the process of becoming a doctor. So affirmations must be coupled, must be connected to incantation. So emotionalize it. Feel it as you say it. Preferably say it in a private space. You may want to avoid speaking like this or having affirmations and all in a public space, right? You don't want people to think you're mental and they get the people from the mental hospital to arrest you or catch you, right? So see, do all this in a private space. Okay. So let's go through some of this. Sandeep, can you still hear me, Sandeep? Sandeep. Okay, Dr. John, can you hear me, Dr. John? All right, good. So
yes, sir, I can hear you very well.
All right. Dr. John is going to help me now. Let's go through some of the affirmations you see on the slides, please. What does the first affirmation say?
He's asking me.
Can you read that out loud?
You want me to read?
Yes.
Yes, every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better.
Very good. This time around, you can say things like, every day, in every way, I am getting better and better, with a bit more aggression.
So you want me to say that?
Yes, with a bit more energy, sir. Go ahead. Dr. John?
Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better.
Okay, very good. So that is one way of doing it. So all these affirmations, say it with conviction.
You
Say
hear
it with-
me?
yes, yes. Lovely, lovely, doctor. Thank you.
Okay.
There's a bit of a frequency interruption. So when you keep saying, internalize this to a physical state. That means have more emotion, have more energy, all right? Have more energy, have more focus in all these affirmations. So this can alter your biochemical composition in your mind. So you walk a little bit more confident, you think no matter what happens, you would be a bit more alert in doing certain things. So you may want to use a little bit more energy. So you can say things like, I attract and enjoy an abundance of wealth, prosperity, and good fortune all the time. I attract and enjoy an abundance of wealth, prosperity, and good fortune all the time. So a bit more aggressive. Don't just read it, feel it. Feel this. I'm blessed with phenomenal health in body, mind, and spirit. I'm blessed with phenomenal health in body, mind, and spirit. So this is how you keep saying all these affirmations. And keep doing this frequently enough. You can even write your own sentences in whatever positive way you want, but emotionalize it. Don't just say it for the sake of saying it. Emotionalize it. And like I said just now, do it in your private space. Maybe early morning before leaving the house, or at night before knocking off. Keep saying this. I enjoy and attract a lot of support and care from people around me. So things start to change. Things will change. Okay, now let's move on to the next section here. Okay, now at this juncture, I would like to do a short Kahoot quiz. I'm going to show a short quiz. All of you can participate, I think. We have a maximum of 20 or 30 people, but I'm going to flash it right now. This is a Kahoot MCQ quiz in regards to what we have covered today, mainly from the Bruce Lipton video. And I am going to share with you right now. Just give me a moment, please. Please go to this website, www.kahoot.it. www.kahoot.it. I'm going to go there right now. Okay, how many people have joined so far? Okay, it started. I can hear the music. The pin is on the screen right now, if you all can see this. The number is 407 390 Please go to the website, go to the link www.kahoot. Kahoot is spelled KAHOOT.IT. On your mobile devices, your mobile phones will be better that way. Let me see how many people so far have joined. There's only 3. Come on, guys. You can do it, yeah? So far, how many have joined? There are 32 people. Okay, due to time constraints, I'm going to just take another few more people. Say once you reach 35, we'll stop, okay? So first come, first serve. All right. I am going to start the game right now. All right, two more. 40? Okay, everybody get ready to do this. All right, and the game is on right now. Oh my God. Come on, 7 seconds to go. All right. And what is the answer? 0 to 7. Now, who's got this right? How many people got this right? 25. Not bad. Next one, please. Next question, please. Number 2. "30 seconds, speed up. Four, three, two, one. Wow, not bad, not bad. What's this question? All right, let's go to the next one. Number 3. And what's the question and answer? Okay. All of you can see is right. Good. Let's move on to the next one, please. I don't know who is this FDP 4005. You are rocking. All right. Next one, please. Number 4, yes. Three, two, one. 26 out of 50, not bad. Next question, please. Next question, please. Two, one, and okay, the term is self-sabotage. Self-sabotage, that's the part where you do all your contrasting, breaking down your contrasting belief system and so on, right? 004 is still leading in the race. Okay, he's taking his first, what do you call it, stretch towards victory. Now, next one. Question number 6. $27 got it correct. Repetition. The first few 0 to 7 is hypnosis, 7 onwards repetition. 004. My God, he's smoking. Now, next one, number 7. Number 7 would be three, two, one. All right, let's move on to the last and final one. The final question. 004 is still leading. I think you can't catch him anymore. Four, three, two, and one. Okay, according to Dr. Bruce Lipton, the term is low vibration frequency, right? I'm just quoting the video. So this is your podium finish. Observe this, everyone. So give yourself a pat on the back if you're any one of these people here. You are the champion, and I'm sure the university has got some gift or trophy for you somewhere. All right, amazing. Thank you for participating here. And last but not the least, let me just go back and wrap this up. Let me just go back to my slide. Go to the, come out from this Kahoot, please. I'm hearing the sound. I'm getting.
Sir, could you please enable your mic, sir?
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, I'm just going to my slides right now. Now, I'd like to close my session for today by just sharing one short video. This is a video about overcoming obstacles, and seeing things from a focused perspective. A lot of people think it's impossible, but this is a miracle, because this particular situation, there was a lot of focus. Now, this is in regards to this is a short video. It's a short video. I think it's about 4 minutes. Liverpool's match against Barcelona in the 2019 Champions League semi-finals. We lost the first leg 3-0 at Nou Camp, which means it was impossible for us to win in Anfield, on paper at least, by a margin of 4-0. But this is what belief can do. So please enjoy this video. And play. Okay.
Very quickly on the six. Suarez! Barcelona break through, and it's the former Liverpool man who creates the wounds for Liverpool and then runs forward. Here's Messi. And Suarez hits the bar, and Messi follows up, and it is 2-0. They picked Liverpool's pocket for their counter-attack. Period. Messi. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! everybody a pleasure and a privilege, as always, to be at Anfield, where we are hoping for another miracle like Istanbul. Up to Mane, mistake, Mane entered the area, great skill, Henderson's in the box, Henderson, saved it! Yes! Divock Origi, would you believe it? Albert on the right-hand side. Only Mane in the box. Trent's cross. Wijnaldum! Gini Wijnaldum! It's another assist for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Anfield absolutely erupts. Shaqiri on the left. Brilliant cross. Wijnaldum! This is unbelievable! This is delirium! Anfield, have you ever heard noise like this? Really well, Trent. 12 minutes to go in normal time. Liverpool 3-0. Corner taken quickly, Origi!
All right. Now that is the power of focus. That is the power of focus. What can happen when things seem to be impossible? If you have enough focus, determination, and resilience, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. I'd like to conclude this session. Once again, thank you for spending some time with me. Any questions?
Congratulations, Mr. Brain, for the absorbing session. Many have given the chat. It's very enriching, interesting, and informative. Congratulations. I request at least a couple of participants to share today's takeaways and learnings quickly. I invite a couple of participants to share with Mr. Brain about today's takeaways and learnings for today. Okay. Participants, please use the raise hand option. Participants, please use the raise hand option and come forward. Yes, okay. Dr. Esther Lydia, please welcome.
Good evening, sir. Dr. From my side. Thank you for the highly to be, but are all what if unrealistic goal? How can we be smart setters of?
The voice was choppy.
Yeah, the audio is not clear.
Yes.
Let's move on to the next participant. Kindly raise your hand. The last participant. Someone has said it's extraordinary session, very insightful and interesting.
Was the question something?
Question, yes. Question in the chat box.
Okay, let me check the chat box. The question is, let me see. Or let me just choose one or two. Just read out one or two for me, please.
So when we start something, it's in full enthusiastically, but after that it's diminishing gradually and you get it.
Okay, let me just handle one question. Someone says when we start something, it's full of enthusiasm. As it progresses, it dies down. Very common. That's normal human behavior. That's normal human behavior. But let's do it. Let's change it. If you are going to start something, what you can do is be very, very clear about this and keep repeating that process. If the process is not working, change and try a different method, different approach. For example, you say, we wanted to build a business, open a restaurant. I want to open a restaurant. We had all the paperwork done and so on. But after some time, the enthusiasm and excitement died down. Then the introspection, self-examination would be, what did I do or not do properly? Did I have the necessary support or financial assistance or not? So there should be self-examination there. If you don't do this, there would be a problem. It would subsequently erode and then you would miss the mark. So if you have something in mind, make sure you are crystal clear about this. Remember the slide on advancing a just cause, do the modeling, capacity for existential flexibility, meaning break down your comfort zones and have trusting teams that support you, and then just make bold decisions. When I say bold decisions, you must be, let me just qualify that. It's not just give up everything and jump into the river. Make bold decision means invest enough emotions and judgment in the things that you really believe in. Do not hold back. Okay, so let me look at, I hope
Thank
that
you.
makes sense.
Thank you, Mr. Andrew.
Right.
Yeah, tomorrow we begin the session at 5:30 and we will have the valediction at 6:45. Now I invite all the participants for a couple of screenshots. Kindly come on the videos. We'll have some screenshots with the resource person, Mr. Andrew.
Frame 1. Frame 2. Kindly smile. Thank you. Frame 3. Thank you all.
Thank you. I want to congratulate the participants in the quiz program. I enjoyed the quiz program. Congratulations to all the participants. Over to MC for final words.
Thank you, sir. Many, many thanks to our resource person, Mr. Andrew De Silva, for his wonderful and thought-provoking session, full of positivity, energy, and enthusiasm. Thank you, sir. I also appreciate the participants for their interest in participating in the quiz, online quiz, and I also congratulate the winners. With this, we bring down the curtains for this. Thank you. Tomorrow, when we come back, we'll have Mr. Ajit Vikram from Bangalore speaking on conflict resolution and collaboration. Hope you all had a great time here. Meet you all tomorrow evening. Till that, good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Brain.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Have a nice day. God bless.
Participants, the organizers are online. If you have any technical issues, you may clarify with us.
The participants kindly fill in the feedback form available in the chat box. Dear participants, kindly fill in the feedback form available in the chat box. Thank you.
Professor Deepa? Yes, Professor Deepa. Dr. Usha, would you like to say something? He's busy with that. Dr. Parita Begum, good evening. I got your courier. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. This sessions, all the sessions are very nice, sir. And I understood everything about the soft skill programs. Thank you, sir.
Madam, I got the courier that you
Thank,
sent me.
thank you very much, sir.
Okay, okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, okay.
Unmute
Thank you.
Dr. Usha's
Thank you,
mic.
sir.
Dr. Usha, you are unmuting your mic.
Thank you very much.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, Dr. Usha.
Good evening, everybody.
Yes, good evening.
I'm immensely happy to express my joy to the organizers